In this video, I'm going to talk about how to fix errors in FastTrack. Errors happen sometimes, it's basically unavoidable, and there's actually a pretty standard and easy method to fix them in FastTrack. First, you'll note that I have these sounds, which I'm going to track. Okay, so I'm going to track folder, and I have it set up so that the path is for this folder. It's called kids because it's actually a child's voice. I picked a child's voice so that it's more likely to make mistakes. Okay, so tracking those 11 sounds took 27 seconds. We can look at the label picture. Looks weird, but actually I happen to know that in this dialect, this is actually correct. E certainly looks odd. A and E should definitely not be in the same place, and they should not be in the same place as oo, but this might be a very fronted oo. A should go down here, E should go way up here. So what we can do is we look through the winner's files to see where the mistakes are. So A looks normal, looks normal. Okay, so here's a mistake. A, EH, A. That's definitely wrong. This is also a mistake, A. That's not a formant, obviously. There's nothing there. That looks good. And E is definitely wrong. That looks good. Okay, so there's three mistakes, A, and E. What we do is we open up the winner's CSV file. This tells you what FastTrack thinks is the best analysis for each file. So you go to Images Comparison. The way this works is it shows you a picture of all the potential analyses that FastTrack ran, and in bold is the one it thinks is the winner. So there's a bunch of really bad analyses that are not picked, and FastTrack returned this one. See how there's 4 times 4, 16 boxes. Here FastTrack thinks the 15th one is the best for file BO3A. BO3A has 15 here. All you have to do to fix any errors is go to the ones that are mistaken. A. 1, it picked 1. Actually, 16 looks really good. So I'm going to fix it. I'm going to change. It's very important to change all these numbers. The reason why is because FastTrack lets you pick a different analysis for each formant frequency. If you give it different numbers, it will assume, like if you put 16 here and then 1, 1, 1, it will actually take 1, 1, 1. So make sure you replace all the numbers. The next one, let's see. These are certainly wrong. The truth is very likely to be, I'm going to go with 16 again. So just copy it in there. And E is the last one. And so again, that's definitely wrong. It's a little difficult to know, but you can tell basically from the stability. First of all, these measurements are basically correct. F2 should be really high for E. So we know, see how it becomes very stable around here and then it kind of falls apart. The best one might actually be, so if this is 12, this is 13, 14. I'm going to go with 14 actually. 14 looks most stable. So put 14 in there. Okay, so you just close that. Save. So you just save the file, close it, and go to track folder. And you have picked new winners, basically. So you don't need to track the formats again. You don't need to do this. All you do is need to get the new winners and to aggregate the data again. So you hit only the final 2 steps and hit OK. So notice that, well, we can go to winners again and we can look at the ones that were previously bad. They've been replaced with the ones that we like better. We can also go to the label picture and we can see that E, A, and A are now effectively in their proper positions. So we've fixed the mistakes by picking better analyses. There's one more situation where you might want to edit files manually. So we're going to look through the images winners to pick one that kind of doesn't look that great, and we're going to edit it manually. Well, this is a great example. So that's obviously wrong. You know, the articulators can't move in like 5 milliseconds that much. So we see BO3A. We want to fix that. So we go to formant winners. This has our winning analyses. So BO3, we don't like that one that much. So we go to formants edited and we put it in there. Anything we put in there, we can manually edit. by going to Tools, and you pick Edit Folder, and hit OK. The path should be the path to this folder with all this stuff in it, and just leave everything the same, and hit OK. It will draw the spectrogram, the analysis for you, and it will say, is the tracking acceptable? If it is, you just hit Finish. If you don't think so, you hit Edit. That will pop up this editing window. You go Control 1. The blue Foreman is the one you're editing. So Control 1, Control 2, Control 3, Control 4, Control 5. So we want to edit Foreman 3. See point, add point, remove point, Control T, Control Alt T. So we can go Control Alt T. Now we have removed those bad points. We can actually add a point here in the middle with Control T. We could potentially do something weird like that, but I'm not going to. So notice what happens when I say, this little window pops up. Done editing? Okay. Fixed. That big deviation is now gone. Now it'll ask you again, is it acceptable? If not, you can go back in and edit it again. If you hit Finish, it saves what you did. So if you go to Images Winners and look at it, it will keep the picture of the unedited Foreman and show you the data, the edited one. This is your final data. The only reason it keeps two pictures of the images are so that you can basically see what you've done. After editing, if you ever have to manually edit, you are going to want to aggregate again. So you can either go to Tools and pick the aggregate function in Tools, or you can go to Track Folder and just pick the final stage, and it will just make this process data file again.